You're talented, smart, brilliant even. And that's exactly why you're in danger. If there's one thing history proves, it's that the best, the most creative, the boldest are often the first to fall. Why? Because they forget the most dangerous rule in the game of power: never outshine the master. This first law from Robert Greene's book is an invisible trap for the ambitious. The logic is simple, almost primal. Those above you need to feel superior, even if they're not. It's an emotional law, not based on what's true, but on what feels true to the one in power. If you make them feel threatened, they'll chop your head off with a smile on their face. Back in 1661, Nicolas Fouquet was France's Minister of Finance. Wealthy, cultured, influential, and way too ambitious. To impress King Louis XIV, he threw a party at Vaux-le-Vicomte that made Versailles look like a village fair. But Fouquet forgot one thing: Louis XIV was the master. Days after the party, Fouquet was arrested. He spent the rest of his life in a cell. Louis turned the party into proof of betrayal. The moral? He outshone the sun and got burned. If you work for someone, you're a piece on the board, even if you're a mighty knight. Every leader carries insecurities. Some are emperors on the outside, but scared little kids on the inside. Showing off your brilliance without strategy is like drawing a target on your forehead. You might even get promoted, straight out of the game. We're not saying dim your light. We're saying know where to shine. Make your superior look smarter than they are. Give them credit, even when it's your idea. Make harmless mistakes so they can fix it and look wise. Stroke their ego subtly. Be the reflection of their glow, never the source. You know who nailed this? Henry Kissinger. He let Nixon shine in public while pulling the strings behind the scenes. Here are a few survival tricks. Indirect praise, the invisible flattery. Instead of saying, "You're amazing," which sounds fake and forced, slip the compliment into the subtext. Say things like, "I followed your idea and it worked like a charm," or "did it the way you always recommend." You're shifting credit for a win onto your boss, even if the idea was yours. It makes them feel respected, wise, appreciated, and, more importantly, it makes them value you in return. It's like watering their ego with a compliment that blossoms slowly without anyone noticing the hose. Strategic naivety, the power of looking like a learner. Even when you know the answer, ask for guidance. Say, "What do you think would work best here?" Or, "I'm torn, maybe you've got a clearer take on it." You're not being submissive, you're being smart. This triggers their leader instinct. They feel important, and they don't see you as a threat, but as a loyal ally. It's like acting in a play where the master shines as the mentor, and you quietly direct the script. Conscious theater. Clap with purpose. If the boss makes a joke, laugh. If they get emotional, react. The rule here is simple. If they're the comedian, you're the most enthusiastic crowd. But don't overdo it. Your applause needs to feel real, spontaneous, like it comes from admiration, not strategy. Remember, the stage is theirs. You just dance along. While everyone watches them, you move behind the curtains, unnoticed. Calculated mistake, the stumble that builds trust. Make small errors that don't harm your work, but allow the master to correct you with authority. Example, say the wrong term on purpose in a meeting, or leave a simple step open so they can jump in and complete it. They'll feel needed, useful, and above all, superior. It's the political version of letting the king move the pawn in chess. You control the rook, but he thinks he's calling the shots. Credit returned, the art of vanishing after the win. Never claim a win directly, especially if the master's in the room. If the idea was yours, make it sound like it came from him. Off the back of what we discussed the other day, I applied that concept you always talk about, or it was inspired by something you said earlier. This paints you as loyal, aligned, not competitive. And it protects you from that quiet jealousy that's ruined many bright careers. It's like planting a tree with your own hands, but letting him cut the ribbon while the kingdom cheers. These techniques aren't submission. They're political choreography. Picture this. You're in a meeting, you've got a brilliant idea, but your boss is clearly fighting to stay relevant. You've got two options: shine and risk becoming a threat, or drop the idea casually over coffee and let him present it as his own. The result? He trusts you more, you gain silent influence, and in the end, real power belongs to those who influence, not those who show off. There will be moments when it's time to shine more. When the master is falling, weak, discredited, then you can, and should, prepare your rise. But only if it's inevitable. Shine too soon, and you'll look ruthless, or worse, too ambitious. Patience is a weapon. Time is power's final judge. Power is not rational. It's psychological, emotional, symbolic. Those in power want admiration, loyalty, control. You're either an asset or a threat. And the human mind, especially the insecure kind, sees someone else's brilliance as danger. Deep down, we're still tribal. Better kill the rival before he takes the throne. Steve Jobs was a genius, but anyone who tried to outshine him, gone from Apple. Jeff Bezos valued ideas, but only from those who knew how to play the ego game. In politics, the most powerful advisors are the ones no one's ever heard of because they never stole the spotlight. There's a brilliant quote that sums this all up. All superiority is hated, but a subject's superiority over his prince is not just foolish, it's fatal. Balthazar Gracian. That line is the soul of this law. You can be the best, but if you don't know when to be the best, you'll just be another forgotten name in the footnotes of history. In the game of power, the brightest don't win. The most strategic do. A strategist doesn't shine for no reason. He only shines when the spotlight is on the master. If you enjoyed this breakdown of Law 1 from the 48 Laws of Power, hit that subscribe button and drop a comment below. Have you ever seen someone fall for shining too brightly?
And don't forget, if you want to master the world of business and learn more about money, this is the channel you should be following. That said, I'm off to enjoy my coconut water now. See you next time, little geniuses.